What's up, Internet? Matt Guff from house.com.
Scottie Stank.
Matt Siddons.
Yo, I first, as we kind of start this little video, I want to give a huge shout out to these two guys. These are the guys that do all the stuff behind the cameras, do the editing, the sound, the lighting, make the studio what it is, and make me look good on the channel. So thank you guys. You guys absolutely rip.
Thank you.
Word up. So these guys were actually lucky this week. They went up to Lutsen. It was like, what, May 2nd and 3rd?
Yeah, 3rd through 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to go and ride, but they grabbed some of the 2020 Rossignol goods. And we wanted to sit down and kind of chat about it. And yeah, just kind of discuss what the 2020 line looks like. So out of all the decks within the each category, you know, freestyle, all mountain, and then POW, fun shape, which one did you guys like the most, like in those really warm spring conditions?
Well, I mean, like for me, I really enjoyed the sushi.
Okay.
I thought it. I mean, obviously it's a pretty specific board.
Right.
A little bit like
Right.
with
Sushi's.
sushi's the.
This one.
Yeah.
This is a fun. This one has been, dude. Everyone loves this thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, really.
And-
you guys hold it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. A lot of people will consider this kind of like. I always just hear people say like, "Oh, it's the toy in your quiver," you know.
Right.
But when we were out there, you know, riding in May in Minnesota, and, it just felt a lot more than that.
Right.
It was in the slush. It was still super surfy.
Cool.
Without chattering too much.
Right.
So you weren't really getting bucked around, especially in the morning.
Got it.
And there was
Yeah,
still.
I think that we'll probably get to it, and sorry to cut you off, but I definitely know what you're talking about. So we both rode almost all the boards, right?
Right.
And so I think that these, what is it called, light frame?
Yeah.
I think that probably had a lot to do with it, because I really didn't feel much chatter on this thing. Like,
Cool.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because this is it's a 144, right?
Yeah. Super
Yeah.
short. Well. Yeah.
And especially like when it's that slushy, like it's pretty chopped up out there, man. And so like
Yeah.
it was pretty amazing. You could kind of just let this. You just pull your nose up, and it just did most of the work for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, what is it, hybrid profile shape. So like just past the front insert packs, it like has a gradual sweep. But I like the nose shape because it doesn't like buck up really fast. It's kind of like it's really gradual. And then what the tail's got camber. So underneath that front foot all the way to the back end, it got camber.
Yeah. Cool. And we were hitting some side hits with it, so there's still like plenty of pop. Although you don't have that big tail to like really pop you up, so a lot of that is coming from your back foot.
Right.
So I guess that just takes some time to get used to. And, you know, you can still soar off the side hits, or if you want to even take it on jumps or something.
Right. And that's a really good point too. Is like, it has loads of energy, but that pop location is like way closer to your back foot.
Yeah.
And even with the contact point ending there, and then the nose one up just a little bit in front of your front foot, even though the full length of the board's a 144, it definitely feels like a lot shorter board because your contact with the snow is like there to just outside of your front foot, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
I kind of felt like it was, you kind of have like, it's kind of like a pivot point almost on your back foot.
Right.
You can, like, it's so short. I just don't have a lot of experience riding something like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it felt like you could just take your foot and just, it was like a pivot, like, I don't know, like you're playing basketball, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's like the draw to a lot of people on a board like this is like, they can pivot on their front foot and their back foot is like a rudder, just like
exactly. Yeah.
Right. Were there any trees open, or did it just mostly all open runs? There was
one run.
We took a little gutter run,
Okay.
But it was pretty stumpy. But
Sure.
I think I was on this thing. Yeah, for it.
Got it.
And it was nice because of that pivot point, you know, and like
Right.
the quick bank turns and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Now, both you guys have, like, Matt, you have a size 11.5 boot. Scott, you have a 12. I was gonna say noon, but that would be weird. You got a noon boot.
Make that a thing.
So the Sushi has a 26.4 waist width. That's definitely wider than your average board. In the spring conditions, sometimes like you can kind of slip out and your board digs into the snow deeper, and generally can cause more toe and heel drag. With this waist width, with the heavy, wet, deep style snow, did you guys drag your toes and heels? You see yourselves or feel yourselves catching it all?
No, I didn't notice anything really.
Got it.
Yeah, me
and-
neither.
Yeah, I mean we were laying into carbs too, which this thing is awesome doing, and if only we could have done it on like some middle of winter groomed trails to see.
Right.
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 But yeah, I didn't notice anything.
Cool.
Yeah, for the conditions we had, and typically this would probably be for more of a powder situation, but
Yeah.
it worked well just as well, I guess. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah. Now, with the flex of the other boards that you kind of brought up there, where do you think this one kind of ranks in within the other boards? Was it kind of stiffer than most of the other boards, softer than most of the other boards, or kind of like right in the middle from what you remember?
man, I'd say right in the middle. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean it was like pretty middle of the road
Sure.
in terms of flex.
Right.
It was playful enough where you can quick edge to edge, flex it out on turns.
Yeah. And it's a fun board. Like you guys were saying with the short tail, it's maneuverable, right?
Yeah.
But it still has like a really big side cut radius for the length that it is. I can't remember exactly what the number is, but it's a bigger side cut radius than most boards. So when you are riding like hard groomers, like you can still rip really good, but when you want to turn it fast, you can use that tail like a little rudder
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool. So this thing, the Sushi, compared to this next one, the Sashimi,
Yeah.
What'd you think in contrast of both of these decks? I can take that one.
Okay. For me,
That's a good looker though.
yeah.
That's a good looking board.
That top sheet, especially on the snow, like the colorful fish. I just think it looks so cool. Yeah.
Shines through.
Yeah, it's compared to last year's. There was another dude out there riding last year's Sushi,
Yeah.
and this thing, they really up their game with it.
Dude,
I think.
it's
I think
cool.
it looks way better.
The graphic kind of reminds me of, so I think it's a thing where people would like they'd have a fish and they'd like paint the fish and then they'd lay the fish down on a piece of paper and kind of like stamp it out. I think that was like a kind of art. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. It has like some longitude and latitude markings. Like I don't know where the heck that's at, but we could find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the base is pretty tight too.
Hell yeah.
So this thing compared to the Sashimi, which the Sashimi was new for 19, I believe, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, you can
I think
be
so.
right. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No,
Yeah. What'd you
yeah.
guys think of that? What'd you think of this thing?
This thing was perfect. This was my favorite board.
This one was Sashimi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could talk about the best park board, but overall, this thing for the sloppy conditions we were in was perfect.
Cool.
It has the same characteristics of the Sushi, but then you also get a little bit more board to work with down here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
you can spring off of that thing a little bit better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And what size is this one? This is a 56?
Yeah.
56 still has a pretty big waist,
Did pretty
26.2.
well, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it just felt like kind of like the older brother of the Sushi. So
Older brother of the Sushi?
yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit. I mean,
yeah.
definitely in terms of length for sure. But like, it held up a little better It's kind of like if somebody wanted the sushi but wanted it to go anywhere.
Got it.
To me, at least, that's the sashimi.
For sure.
Cool.
It was a little less chattery on like when people started pushing the snow and it's like 2 o'clock or something.
All right. Gets
This
a little
thing,
bumpy.
yeah, this thing would kind of like rip through that real bumpy, packed up soft snow or hard
Right.
snow,
Yeah.
hard slush.
You could charge and not have to worry about getting bucked, just like
Yeah.
on the sushi.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nose shaping past what the contact looks like, it looks to be just a little bit more abrupt in its angle.
Yeah.
It looks like it goes up and kind of bowls out just a little bit more. I suppose when you're riding those like really chundery conditions, where it's
Yeah.
just super bumpy, the afternoon, having a little bit higher of a rise can help kind of like get over the top of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I bet even in deeper snow, maybe a little bit, it wouldn't necessarily like push it like kind of push it, but when you're in some variable terrain like hard and soft snow together, that might be able to kind of perform a little bit better. What's a base look like on the 2020? This is actually, I've seen these graphics before.
Yeah.
That looks good. And it kind of reminds me of the graphic from last year's 1LF, just a little bit. There's like that stripe down the middle of the board.
for sure.
And this also features light frame technology.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you feel like was there any difference in the way, or what was the biggest difference in the feel of the sashimi in contrast to the sushi?
I think it just like it absorbed a lot of the chundery stuff
Okay.
better. To me, that's what I was feeling. So you weren't getting as bucked around, or even you really weren't getting bucked around on
Got it.
going through, and it would hold a turn really well. So I think this thing obviously would do great in the POW.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean that's what I was feeling.
Yeah. Great board.
This is your favorite.
I mean, we can talk about park boards in a second, but and I love park boards, so it's hard to say it, but yeah, this thing did the best, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
for me.
Yeah, I like the sashimi, especially with that little bit longer of a tail too,
Yeah.
And you can actually, I think you coming out of a turn a little bit, it kind of holds that line just a little bit
Yeah, it
better
really does.
instead of like
Yeah,
kind of washing out.
Yeah.
You really have to watch out like where your weight is on your boards when you're exiting a turn on something a little bit more short like this
Yeah.
than something like that, because that maximum point of velocity, that last little point where you're like exiting out of that turn, is further away from your body, kind of holding you on, and I think just springs you out of the turn a little bit faster.
For sure.
And that's why I like the sashimi. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dang. Power
Awesome.
boards, huh?
Wow.
Now, if you guys, so Scott, if you were to pick one of these to ride forever, you say this one over the
Yeah,
over the
I like the way the sushi looks better, but I like the fish, man, but
right,
yeah,
right.
I'll pick this one. Yeah.
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 Siddons, which one? If you were to pick kind of a board between the two, which one do you like better?
Well, if I had to ride something, just one,
Yeah.
on any condition, it would be the sashimi.
Because it's more versatile.
Yeah, but like the sushi was just so fun, and like I could have fun, find a way to have fun
Right.
in any condition with that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I feel like you get into powder, and you might like the sushi more than the sashimi. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Dang. They both look really good.
Yeah.
And I like how the graphics are vastly different, even though their names are fairly similar. Sushi and Sashimi, like,
Yeah.
that's pretty tight. All right.
Yeah, Rossi killed it.